Well, the entire season comes down to one game, and it's the big one on Saturday in Missoula as the 25th ranked Montana State Bobcats get together with the Montana Grizzlies for the 118th time. With Bobcat radio analyst Dan Davies, I'm Jay Sanderson. So Dan, putting aside the rivalry for a moment, a Montana State wins put the Bobcats at 7-4 overall. And with the way things have broken in some of the other conferences, this could well be a win and in scenario for the Bobcats. You've been an observer of the committee for a number of years. What's your read on it?
I think a Bobcat win will certainly get the, and I should say certainly, but I'm very confident that the Bobcats would get in the playoffs and the discussion for postseason. The Big Sky Conference has a good reputation. Montana State has a good reputation for postseason, and I really believe that's going to be the case.
A Montana State victory would be the third in a row for the program over Montana. It'd be the first time that's happened since the 83, 84, 85 seasons when you were coaching the team. What perspective can you give us on this?
Yeah, that's really hard to believe when we talked about that earlier, and for those 3 years, it was to win those three. It was pretty spectacular at that time, and it's held the test of time because it's been that long since that occurred. So that's going to be a big milestone for Coach Choate and his staff if they can get 3 in a row here, and heck, let's go 4. I know there were a couple times recently the Bobcats were 3 of 4 in that situation, but never 3 in a row till back in the 80s.
Well, there are a lot of interesting matchups in this game, especially at quarterback. Montana State's Troy Anderson, Montana's Dalton Sneed, each have been their team's leading rushers. The head-to-head battle between Montana State's defensive line and Montana's offensive line. The Bobcats secondary trying to neutralize the speed of Montana's wide receivers. There are a lot of different elements at play in this game. What do you think is the most critical matchup to watch?
Well, I think the Bobcats secondary has really kind of come onto their own with Jacquay Allen, the success he's had with in interception game, and Jalen Cole has really been tasked with locking up with their best receivers, whoever it's been in the second half of the season here. So he's had a lot of success. So, but those guys don't have success in the secondary unless those front 7 have pressure on the quarterback and make them uncomfortable. And the Bobcats have been able to bring pressure with 4 and 5, but not all the same guys. So it's a guessing game for the opposing offense. So it's a combination of the secondary playing well and the good pressure that the front 7 are getting.
So for Montana State to win on Saturday, what needs to happen?
Well, the old given, you got to be able to run the football. There's no question about that. But I think the Bobcats need to be able to throw the ball more efficiently and be more of a threat downfield when to throw the ball. But the other element is, Montana's had problems with turnovers, with 7 interceptions and lost 7 fumbles. So they're behind the sticks that way, where Montana State has had the favorable turnover numbers to this point.
Well, number 25, Montana State visits Montana on Saturday. We'll be there for all of it, so we invite you to join Dan and me for the broadcast all across the Bobcat Sports Network or on the TuneIn app. Our pregame coverage takes the air at 11 o'clock. Kickoff is set for just after noon. With the Bobcat Hall of Famer Dan Davies, I'm Jay Sanderson for MSUBobcats.com.